Hey y'all, and welcome back to the party. It's me, your girl, BrittReacts, and today we are reacting via a kind suggestion to Aaron Lewis sings Patriotic Anthem, Am I the Only One? Let's see what he has to say. Ooh. Straight up. Neat on the rocks. Is neat on... Not the same thing, sorry.
Am I the only one here tonight, shaking my head and thinking something ain't right? Is it just me? Am I losing my mind? Am I standing on the edge of the end of time? Am I the only one? Tell me I'm not. Who thinks they're taking all the good we got and turn it back? Hell, I'll be damned. I think I'm turning into my old man.
I love the smokiness of his voice. It sounds like he was just drinking a whiskey bourbon and picked up the guitar. Like, it literally has that like smoky rasp to it. I like how he kind of said, he said, am I the only one? And it like went from singing to talking just briefly. It was like a brief interruption. Yeah, I mean, this just feels like good old country music.
Am I the only one willing to bleed, or take a bullet for being free? Screaming what the fuck at my TV for telling me, yeah, you're telling me that I'm the only one willing to fight for my love, the red and white.
Is that like a candy apple red Mustang behind him? I don't know what kind of car it is. Just guessing. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I think nowadays it definitely probably feels like to men of older generations that like no one has just pride or stands for anything anymore. And you look at the TV and you're just like, what? These new generations, what are y'all doing? And so I bet it does feel like to them like they are the only ones who still have the ideals of fighting for your country, fighting for your freedom, standing up for what you believe in, kind of thing. Because yeah, I think our country has changed so much in that way, where I don't know this man's age, but he clearly is not a millennial or a Gen Zer. The generations before, these were the men that were like enlisting into the army in like robes, just like signing up and, like standing up for their freedom and, their families and all those things. So I can imagine turning on the TV nowadays and watching the news and listening to the news and, in social media, you're like, what is it? Am I the only one left? I understand this song and the kind of, I don't want to say anger. It's not anger, but the passion in his voice. Like, what is going on? I get it.
For my love, the red and white and the blue, burning on the ground, another statue coming down in a town near you, watching the threads of old glory come undone.
Ooh, look at his boots.
Am I the only one not brainwashed, making my way through the land of the lost, who still gives a shit and worries about his kids as he try to undo all the things he did? Am I the only one who can't take no more screaming? If you don't like it, there's the fucking door. This ain't the freedom we've been fighting for. It was something more. Yeah, it was something more. Am I the only one willing to fight for my love of the red and white?
From the other side, the Gen Zers and the millennial side, I think all the freedom that the generations before fought for kind of birthed this new revolution of like opinion, and this is a new version of freedom. It's like I have the right to say these things. I have the right in the feelings that I want to affect change. Where I just think it's like a double-edged situation. It's a two-sided story, and so I think we are hearing from a man of his generation who has a lot of pride in his country, and he does not relate or understand to these new kids, as I like to call them, that don't concern themselves with the things that he concerns himself with. And I think a lot of times, or just a lot of the divide is that right there. It's like there's such a gap in ideals and what's important to people now versus what was important to people then that they still hold on to, if that makes sense, you know? I'm just speaking from the perspective of the song and what I think. Like, I think this is a man who is very prideful in his country, his family, his ideals, and this song is like, what the is going on? Like, and I feel like Aaron Lewis, the one singing it, feels really passionate about it. He's singing from a deep place. Like he believes everything he's saying, and he's super passionate, you know?
And the blue burning on the ground, another statue coming down in a town near you, watching the threads of old glory come undone. I'm not the only one. I can't be the only one. Am I the only one who quit singing along every time they play a Springsteen song?
Oh, what's the T there? What did Springsteen do? Is it Bruce Springsteen? What did he do? I don't know anything about that. He said am I the only one that stopped singing along anytime they play a Springsteen song? Which indicates to me Springsteen did something to someone.
Am I the only one sitting here, still holding on, holding back my tears for the ones who paid with the lives they gave? God bless the USA. I'm not the only one willing to fight for the red and white and the blue, burning on the ground. Another statue's coming down in a town near you, watching the threads of old glory come undone.
Another point of perspective, I think, I really wish if people would just take the time to understand other people's perspective, because I think this is a perspective thing. Like, to this gentleman and whoever wrote this song, I don't know if he wrote it or whoever agrees with this song and resonates with this song, I should say. The conversation of this, he said another statue coming down, removing kind of glory, because to some people, some of the statues that have started to come down, they represent racism. And to other people, those statues these were fighters for our country's freedom, and our country is all of us, no matter what color we're in and what color we are. We all live in this country and we all benefit from the freedom that was won for us. And so I think a lot of those people, the people who, there's people who feel like the statues need to come down because these are people who represented hurtful, harmful, negative ideals. And then there's people whose perspective are, no, these are the people who fought and died for our freedom. And if you look at both sides, I think anyone who's aware could see how one side feels and the other side feels. Like it's all about perspective. And if everybody could just respect perspective and respect opinion instead of hating, there could be a little more understanding. But I just thought that was interesting because, you do see on the news people rallying and protesting for statues to come down because this is their perspective. But to hear this gentleman's perspective be like, that's representative of the glory, the victory of the battles won. And he's not looking at it from a perspective of those people's eyes. I don't know. I just think, and that's kind of for me what music does. Music allows me to understand other people's experiences, other people's journeys, other people's lives. Like I don't live the same life as my neighbor, and so if I had a conversation with my neighbor, I could understand them a little bit better, maybe. I don't know. That's just my take. I don't have to necessarily agree with any song, but I could open my eyes and my heart to understand, is all I'm saying.
I'm not the only one. I can't be the only one.
He looks so fed up. Like he really just like, yeah, cheers, y'all. He really looks like he's tired of the nonsense in this nation. I felt that. I felt it to my core. Like, yeah, I think he had a beautiful, smoky, raspy, traditional country feeling voice. I think the melody of the song was really gorgeous. And again, I think this is a man who grew up in a time where you had pride in your family, your country, and everything it stood for. And, that's his experience. And I think he sung it with passion because that's his experience. So, yeah. All right. Well, that's all I have to say about that. Go and have the day you deserve. Peace.